Hey everyone, Nicole here. I wanted to try something new. And I always like a good challenge, and I was just looking for something to motivate me to continue this Operation Use Your Stash, but in a different way, versus going folder to folder. And that's been great. Like, I've made some great layouts. But if I have like folders of my Mind's Eye or 5 folders of Shimel, it gets old pretty quickly. So I'm still going to do that, try to work through each of those folders. But I came up with an idea of a different way to mix it up a little bit. And like I said, I love a good challenge. This was fun for me. But one thing that made me think of this was I love watching Page Kit videos. Now, I probably because I just like looking at people, like I love playing with stash. Like I love getting it out, putting it together, organizing it together, um, figuring out what could work with, together with, papers with embellishments and those kinds of things. I love doing that. I love kits. I've always loved kits. I've worked with kits for years and years and years. But I've struggled with page kits. I've always done kind of larger stash kits, either a manufacturer's kit, a homemade kit, or like a kit club kit. And I can sit down and put out a bunch of layouts, working with one collection of supplies without having to get anything else from my room. And I can do that. Page kits, I've struggled. I've tried them in the past and I failed pretty big time. And the reason why was because I didn't choose the photo at the time of making the page kit. So I'd make these page kits, they'd be beautiful, and they have embellishments that match the pictures. And I knew I could find a photo that matched those papers. But for me, it was really the embellishment part of it and the layering that I struggled with because I didn't know what to pull in and I didn't know what photo I was scrapbooking. Because I really tried to make my embellishments and the finishing touch pieces and the feel of the layout feel like what matches the photo. So even though a photo may match a set of papers, it may not match the vibrancy of the papers, or the feel of the papers, or the tone of the papers. And that's just kind of how my brain works. And so what I decided to do was try to make some page kits because I want a different way to go to these different collections. So, I mean, everything is in here, old and new. But I don't really know what I'm going to play with until I draw. I draw. Okay. So what I did was I just got on Excel spreadsheets and I made Excel and made some spreadsheets and made a few different categories that I was going to draw for each page kit. So the categories are photo year. So I did all the current years, and then I put I think from 2000 on. So I may have done a pre-2000. I don't remember for sure if I did a pre-2000, like a youth one, like a youth. I may have done that, like youth, and then from the year I got married, and then so there's a little paper in here for each year. So I pick which year I have to go to, and I just have to find a photo from that year. Now there are going to be some exceptions to this. There's always exceptions to everything. These are like my rules, so I can break them if I want to, and I will have to in some instances. And in fact, I already have. Because if I pick, for instance, a particular collection and I have either nothing in that year that goes with that collection because it's very themed, I'm going to have to make some adjustments. Okay. So year of photo, that tells me where to go for photos. And then in that process, I'll go to my albums because I'm also still making sure that I haven't already scrapbooked the photos because I've talked about this in the past. I have a lot of duplicates because I got all my mom's photos and I just sat down and organized them and put them in by year with my photos because a lot of her photos were of my kids and my family. And so as I've been going through and scrapbooking those, I'm getting any other duplicates put into a whole separate box so they are no longer in my photo stash. So I will do that at the time. I'll go to, so say I pull 2008, I'll go pull my 2008 albums, family album, Mallory's album, Keaton's album, and I'm just going to make sure that when I find some photos, I haven't already scrapbooked them. Or if I have scrapbooked them, and I don't love the layout, maybe I'll scrapbook them again if that's if they're like the best photos that go with a particular collection. So that's a whole other thing. Anyway, so then in here I put sketches. So I have these folders. I need to make some more. but I've put these folders together with sketches. Some of them are paid content, so I may not be able to like really show this sketch. I can kind of maybe describe the basics of the sketch to you. I think most of this is paid content from Allison Davis. I know they have free stuff on their website, but I don't know if I've printed off their free stuff. I think most of my Allison Davis stuff is paid content. So that might get a little tricky with doing videos, but I can kind of say it's a 3-photo layout and I need horizontal and I need a few embellishments and this many papers. So I don't want, because I don't want to share paid content. That's important to me. But I also have one for page maps. And, oops, stuck there. And of course, page maps is free content. So I went through and printed off the last 5 years or so. But for, let's see, yeah, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And then, so the first part of 2026. And so, however, one mistake I did was I said, okay, I'll just do little pieces for 2021 through 2026. But I forgot that there were some years where they took off like a few months and didn't have any sketches for particular months. And so if I draw one of those months, I'll just go to like the first month that I have available in that. And I'm just pulling the sheet. And then what I'm doing is I'm starting with, because page maps, the way they work is they have multiple sketches on one piece of paper, one printed sheet, is I'm just saying I'm going to start with the first one. And the first two are always 8.5 by 11. And then they also have 2-page spreads and single page spreads. I'm going to give myself the leniency to update that to a 12 by 12 or just do the 8.5 by 11 like they have it in the sketch. Any kind of sketch you can adjust. And so, because I'll be adjusting sketches in other ways as well. Because I'm good. Some of these years I'm going to be limited on photos. I don't have a lot of photos from the early 2000s before I went digital. So, okay, my third little envelope here is stash add-in, meaning I have loose pieces in my stash. So think flares, wood veneers, bling and enamel dots. What else did I do? Like paper clips, sequins, all those different loose pieces that you have in your stash. And that I'm just going to pick one of those categories and I have to pull one of those items in. I've included my die cut stash. That is like, seriously, I have a pile in my living room down here. Like there's like 3 tubs just full of just die cuts. So, okay, if I need to pull at least one of those into this kit, even if the kit already has die cuts. There are some exceptions to that. For instance, if Disney is the collection that I work with and I'm working with Disney photos, I have a bazillion Disney embellishments that are in my Disney folders. It makes sense to use those because we have a limited amount of Disney photos, a limited amount of Disney scrapbooking to do. I'm going to use my themed product like first and foremost before I pull in that stuff. So there's going to be, again, my rules, my exceptions, right? But this just gives me an idea of like, okay, this will be a fun thing I have to add in that I wouldn't have thought to add in or will challenge me to use it. Then I have a tool/media. And I don't have a ton of these, but I have like punches, stamps, spray mists / liquid media, if I can get myself to use a different kind of liquid media, dies, embossing folders, those kinds of things. So I'm drawing them, putting them back in, so every option will be available in every time I draw for each kit. Then collections. So I went through, and this is pretty easy because I've done so much organizing of all my kits and collections. I just made a list of all the different collections, paper pads, themed folders, those kinds of things in here. And so then I pick which collection I'm going to work with all of these details. And now I did leave out fall and Christmas. That's a whole different animal. And that is something that I think I will do. I have a piece of hair in there, I think. I don't think it's on the outside. Yeah. So I think that will be something I could do like its own little baggie of fall and Christmas kits. And I'll be more apt to play with those in the fall and Christmas time anyway. So these are all my other collections and summer and spring holidays and those kinds of things. So everything's in there. Now, once I draw the collection out of here, it's getting put into a different container. And because I don't want to work with the same thing like twice in a row. And I have so many options. So I'm keeping them and then, it's going to take take me a while to get through these, but then when I do get through them, I'll put them all back in and start over. Okay, so that is what I've been doing. So you guys, I have a confession to make. I actually have drawn for 10 kits already. I did videos and they were a hot mess because this is a process I'm not used to doing. I'm not used to just limiting myself to items for like a page. And of course, we're always still going to have scraps and leftovers and those kinds of things. And it's okay to put in a few extra pieces. My brain is so wired to work with a full collection with layering pieces and all the things, multiple types of pattern papers and whatever. So it's been a bit of a struggle for me to do this, but it's been good for me because it makes me to say, just hone in on this one photo and this one sketch, right? So the sketch tells you you'll only need like 2 pieces of paper and maybe 3 or 4 embellishments. And while I still may add in more, and I do tend to layer more and embellish more on top of sketches, I just do. That's just my style. And I think I want to keep with my style. But still, like, it's really hard for me not to just say, well, let's pull in the whole collection because I could easily do that. Okay, so that is the kind of new system I have wrangled up. And I'm going to go walk through the kits I've made with you. And then I'm going to make one at the end of the video on camera. So I have one left that I've drawn the details, and I haven't put it together yet. So, okay. So here's the deal. I do want to start doing videos of me making the page kits because, again, I enjoy watching them tremendously. It just makes me happy. Like, I just love watching people play with their product and put it together in a fun, unique, creative way and then use it and make a scrapbook layout out of it. And so that's my plan. I just needed to kind of fine tune my process a little bit. So here's okay, I'm not going to go in order. It doesn't really matter. But when I was drawing, I was like labeling them so I knew which was which. So this particular drawing was a photo from 2003, page maps from August of 23. I needed to pull in washi, a sprayer liquid. Okay, so the tools and things I'm going to just do when I'm scrapbooking because I don't want to put a big spray in the bag and I don't want to put a tool in like a punch in the bag. So that's why I'm keeping this with it. So I know I need to pull in some spray mist or some kind of mixed media. And the collection was Shimelle Little by Little. So 2003 is a year before I had babies, but I was pregnant. So that ended up working out well. Now, I also struggle a little bit with choosing photos because when I looked at this sketch, which again, I'm starting with the first one, and when I'm done, I'll just put a little check mark next to it, knowing that I've already scrap lifted that, and then I'll move on to the next one. It has 2 photos. So, you could do 2 smaller photos. You could do a vertical 4x6. You could turn it and do a horizontal. You can do whatever you want. But I was trying to start with, can I just do one, like follow the sketch as closely as possible and do 2 smaller photos. And I was like, oh man, this is going to be hard because this is kind of a baby-ish collection. And I was like, I didn't have babies till the next year. And then I went to my little container of photos and I had so many options of photos to work with this collection. So I just keep my photos in these photo boxes. I have a 3-tiered cart just in front of my desk and I have them organized in there. I have them labeled. And so some years have like hardly anything in them because they were pre-digital and I've scrapbooked most of the photos. Some of them have 4 of these for 1 year. So I went and pulled that particular date. 2004 and 2007 are the years my girls were born. They have full photo boxes. So I don't have containers for those years. I'll go to the photo box. So anyway, so when I got there, I was like, okay, this is going to be a tough one. And then I had like 15 million photos that would work with this collection. So I'm going to show you the collection first. And I went ahead and just pulled all the photos and I'll just work with that, whatever I feel like working with. Again, I'm not going to like say, you can only have 3 pieces of paper. You can only have 1 piece of cardstock and that's it. Like here, I just have very little of this collection. I just pulled the whole collection because I pulled multiple photos that will work with different pieces. But what I did do was I put on the top the photos that I was most thinking I would probably scrapbook with this page kit. And again, you can make more than one page with the page kit. So again, my rules. I put those on the top. And so anyway, this collection is so stinking cute. I love this collection. I probably have, I don't know if I even went through the die cuts and things, because honestly, this, I don't know if I would have had any die cuts. Did she do die cuts early in her earlier collections? I'm trying to remember. I think she probably did. I might go through and just look and see. Actually, I'll do that now. But there's not a lot of embellishing. There's like a journaling card on the side. And if I tell the story I want to tell, I will need a little bit of journaling room. There's a little punched border down there. So a couple pieces, different, two to three patterns, embellishment there. And so don't need a ton. But I might just really, before I'm done here, I might quickly just ruffle through my Shimelle. I don't think I went through the loose die cuts. I also have cut apart cards there I could use as well. So these on the top here were the ones, actually, I think it was these were the ones I was thinking of using with one of the photos, but then some other photos I came across had some of this red in it, and so I just said, you know what, I'm just going to keep all the papers in here, give myself the option of maybe making more than one page, and I can figure that out as I go. I did pull, I just had the stickers. Again, it makes sense to use if you have items from the collection that match it, to use those. I'm still going to kind of abide by those rules. That makes sense to me, not rules, but it does. It makes sense to use stuff that already matches the tone and the colors of the collection. So I had a couple of these to use, and so that's perfect. I have the 6x6 paper pad, so I might as well have that at the ready if I need to do like photo matting or that kind of thing. A few little puffy pieces here. I don't think that belongs here. A few little puffy pieces. And then I'm sure I probably have more, but these were the sticker book sheets I could find. And not a ton left, but there's a few here. And then my challenge was washi, and there was a washi sheet in that sticker book. So this, I think I need to use these as well as I need to use my rolls of washi. So I'm going to use that as my washi challenge. So the pictures I found, I'm going to get the papers kind of where you can see them better, I found a few different ones. So I have these pictures of me and my cousin who were pregnant at the same time. Which again worked beautifully with this collection. You have the different tones of blue, you have the red, so that's one option. This was a photo that first caught my attention, not with this paper so much, but with really with this paper here, because of my dress. I had this navy blue dress with like pinks and purples, and this was actually taken at a wedding, and it was the first time I felt Keaton kick. And it's a fun story. I was sitting next to my dad. I thought he was elbowing me, and in reality, I had felt her first kick. And so I wanted to tell that story. I have not told that story yet. It's the only picture I have of me that day was me dancing, probably the boot, scoot, and boogie. And I want to tell that story, and I think the colors work beautifully. I have this photo of me and my husband before a wedding earlier in the year. Yes, I'm wearing the same dress. I was newly pregnant in this picture. And I remember kind of being at that wedding and kind of thinking, gosh, am I pregnant? Like, I just remember, like, how when you start to wonder, anyway, because like maybe food tastes a little funky or whatever. I have these two photos, which I don't love as much, but there is some black and white in here. These rectangles and polka dots. And I'm just wearing a white tank top and black pants. I think my mom took these photos. I don't love them. They are not pretty photos of me, but I was pretty pregnant and I have them. And so those are ones I could scrapbook. This photo actually matches this color in here beautifally as well. Actually, I really like the floral paper with this one. So guys, all kinds of options that because of the color of my top. Again, I don't like the photo of me. I must have been talking in the middle. This was, again, pre-digital, so you printed and you got what you got for the photos. I have then these photos, which were from my birthday, and these flowers really have these really pretty colors that are in this collection, the yellows and the purples and the whites. And the black. I'm just wearing a black jacket. So that was kind of fun. It was a birthday and it was springtime. So and I have a double of this. So I need to go put that in my little bin so I don't and get one put away. And then I have this one happened to my stripes of me and my husband, and we had just taken selfies the old-fashioned way with the digital camera, not digital camera, with a regular camera. And I'm wearing blue, he's wearing red, and that would also fit the sketch really nicely. I could cut them down a little bit and have even have the 4x4. So guys, I don't know. I have lots of options. From who would have thunk, like going back that long ago, I would have had this many options to work with this one collection that does have a lot of different colors in it, but it's pretty. And it's not super themey, but definitely feels, you know, like a little kid / baby, but lots of options. So I'm going to really quickly look and see if I can find my Chanel embellishment folder here. I think that should be it. That was the papers. Yeah, I think there's definitely some in here. I'm going to really quickly just dump some of these out, pull just a few that I'm pretty sure are from this collection. It just, you know, it makes sense to me to use items from this collection while I'm working with it. So I'm going to have to make a best guess based on the colors. I'm not going to overthink it too hard. I think this Living Right Now probably is one. I'm guessing this is, I don't know, she has probably light pink in some of her other collections, but oh, we got a sticker stuck on. Well, okay. So I'm thinking these probably are, let's do that. I don't think these are. I don't know. Some of these I'm not for sure. Some of these might be Amy Tangerine too. I had combined some of their product together at one point. I feel like these are, oh, I don't know. No, that's a different blue. I don't think these had clouds. Nope. These are all sticky. Okay. There is like a green in there. Maybe that might be. I think that is. Again, I'm not going to be like super, I'm sure I'm going to miss some things, but I'm just going to make sure I grab a few pieces. Okay, I already have one of those. I don't need it twice. Okay, is that there feathers in this? Yes. That definitely is. See how cute that is. I don't know if that is or not. Let's see. I'm trying to look at the different patterns. That usually helps too. I don't know if that's good. Yep, this definitely is. Our playlist. think those are all from that. This pattern. I don't think this pattern is from, is it? It might be. Okay. Oh, that definitely is, I'm pretty sure. That is. Oh, that is for sure. That scrap. Oh. Well, that paper is. Yeah, I'm missing some here. Whoops. These are. This would be a good step forward too in getting some of my die cuts back with their collections. Did I go there? I don't know. I think that's Amy. Oh, I don't know. I think that's Amy Tan, but. Yeah, that's Amy Tan, I'm pretty sure. I think that's, I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying not to take it. I'm trying not to take forever. I just really want to get, because this collection is pretty specifically different from her other ones, and so yeah, that's Amy Tan. I'm pretty sure. I think so is a camera. I don't think that's right. If they don't have a pattern on the back if they're cut apart, then they're probably from a paper pad. So I know I didn't have this in a paper pad. I don't know if that's the right, that's not the right pink. Okay. I think that love might be, is that the purple? I think so. I guess. There's so much stuff in here. Goodness. Happy. That's a different blue. Okay, I think that's probably pretty close. And I should put these in envelopes, but I won't do that today. Okay, so these, no. Okay, just look for scraps really fast, and then, so this is kind of a multi-purpose deal, I think. And that this is also going to help me get the bits and pieces of my collections back together. I don't know if that goes with this collection, but it sure matches. But I don't know. I'm not going to stress about it. Okay. Okay, I think I can flip through this probably pretty easy. Let's see. So the camera paper in this collection is all green, so that helps because there's usually a camera piece with all of her collections. This is definitely, is this, yes, this one is. Oh, that one is too, isn't it? No, maybe not. Oh, that's really cute. Okay. Nope, this is because there's the... Oh, it is. So where did that go? Okay. That is... Oh God, this is Glitter Girl. Oh, see, I'm glad I looked because I love this paper. It's so cute. There's this. No, I don't think that's the camera paper. I mean, it would totally match. Maybe I should put one scrap in. So it would totally match. Okay. I don't know. I can't tell if this is one of the papers or not. Okay. All right. I feel good about that. To see, I already have more than what I need. But because I picked so many different photos, I feel like I can justify treating this as more of a collection kit versus a page kit. And I'm going to go with that. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Okay. Most of them are pretty small, you know, actual page kits. And some of them, there's going to be no other choice, because if I draw a collection that only has 2 pieces of paper, then that is going to make it pretty easy to limit myself. Okay, so yeah, this is a big page kit. It's all good. Nope. I love coffee. That's a fun sticker. I'll just put it there. Okay. I don't think this is... I didn't really find a lot of really small pieces. A lot of cut aparts. Maybe I didn't have a die cut pack. I don't think this goes with this. And I feel like... for some reason I feel like this is a collection I didn't get all of it. Either I got it too late or I missed out on some of it. I could be wrong, but... I have plenty. The stickers are going to be plenty. See, I don't think this goes either. I'll keep it there. That's all right. Okay. Because, yeah, these are all, like, paper pieces, which is fine. Sticker book. I have these. Okay. Okay. Got my photos. My directions. I'm already 34 minutes in and I'm just showing you my kits. Can you imagine how long? Like, I think the first one was like, by the time I did the drawings and made the kits, it was like, I don't know, an hour and a half or something. And I know I don't mind making longer videos. I have no problem with that, but I imagine that gets kind of long for some of you, but okay, the next one was another one that I had a couple different ideas for, and I wasn't for sure what direction I wanted to go in a couple different ways. Again, because it's a challenge, like, I want to take it on, because obviously I could go to a collection and find the perfect things and whatever, but I wanted to really try to go with what I had drawn. So 2024 was the photo year. Page Maps January 2025. They took off the first half of 2025, so June 2025 was the first one I had. Spray liquid again, I'll add that in later. My side stash, meaning I have this guy here on my desk that I just have a bunch of random stuff in. And then I have, well, now I have a couple of different containers. I have this container I've been working from for forever that has lots of 49 Market pieces, leftover, like old pieces of some old stash I've been trying to work through, leftovers from some of the collections and kits and things, some Bo Bunny stuff, bunch of random stuff. I have scrapbooked the heck out of this stuff, and so I've used a lot of it. I've kind of created another one that's a completely brighter, fun color scheme. Those are mostly all not darker, but they're particular tones that were with certain 49 Market collections. But I have this, I can never remember the name of it. Kaleidoscope. I had these laser cuts and a die cut pack. And I'd actually pulled this to work with a collection. And it's come in handy with multiple collections. I worked with it with some of my Mind's Eye product. But it's really a bright, different color scheme. And so this is kind of my brighter stash that I'm trying to get used up little by little, because I have another pack of this in my summer stash. So I know I have more. And so I really want to get this used up with all the other kits and collections that I'm working with. So when I say side stash, that's what I mean. I'm going to pull from these. I also do have, if I'm working with more of a vintage photo, I do have off to my side here, this photo box. Actually, I'm going to just a photo box here. Got containers with a lot of vintagey products. And so I had kind of created these when I was working with, I think that first my Mind's Eye collection, and I just wanted to get my Tim Holtz stuff out and play with it, because it was all sadly stashed away in my vintage cabinet, and I'm like, you know what, a lot of this stuff will work with 49 Market, a lot of it will work with my Mind's Eye, so these vintage collections I'm working with, and so I got them out, and so I have them separated out, kind of by designer, but not necessarily so. And then I have these items here. These are just some different packages I've opened. Some Tim Holtz things, some frames, a stencil. I just wanted to have these at the ready if I had a vintage layout I was doing, or a vintage feeling layout that I was doing. So I could not have to, I didn't have to go. My door to my vintage cabinet is struggling, and so I don't like to open and close it if I don't have to. And so these are just off to my side by my printer. So that would also be considered side stash, and that works for me. So, okay. And then the collection was Imaginis Travel Paper Pad, which was this paper pad here. This is from, oh, there's a year on here if it's covered. Oh, 2013. Okay. Very specific color scheme. Travel themed, but not all of it. Not necessarily 100% of it is. So that is the paper pad I started with. And the, oh, never mind. No, I don't need those. Okay. So 2024 was the year. So I went to 2024. We didn't really do any traveling in 2024, so I knew it wasn't going to be a travel layout. So then I went to colors because this color scheme has this really dark red, has black and white, this orange, these fun aqua and teal colors, and some of this bright green. And so I then looked that way. And I found a couple photo options. The sketch is just one horizontal photo. Again, you could do 2 vertical, you could do whatever. And lots of little strips of pattern papers. And so I found a couple different options. I found this photo here, which was a fun photo of my daughter and her band teacher who had like dressed alike one day on accident, and they took a picture, and that was fun. And it really matches the reds perfectly. And I'm going to get some envelopes out. Then this one here, I had not scrapbooked yet, of my youngest daughter went to my oldest daughter's college for a all-state musical clinic. And so they were able to touch base and take a picture together. And she has this burgundy and this like orangey pants or shorts on. And then the college's colors are navy blue and orange. There's really no navy blue in here, but there is orange. I'm going to actually pull. I was actually watching my video, and well, the video that I deleted that I'm not going to post. And I'm like, I should have grabbed that first navy pattern paper. So there we go. Okay. So those are the photos that I'm thinking. And so I might do 2 pages. We'll see. Okay. And then I'm going to do this last, the papers. So I grabbed for sure for this photo, these are perfect. So again, no travel theme to those pages. Like that's perfect. The coloring is perfect. The deep red of this collection is perfect. And then for these, I gravitated towards staying within, like, I didn't want to get a bunch of the green and the blue in here, but I pulled, let's see. So I pulled this as a cut apart because there's a couple of these that are not vacation themed. So this will be good for both kits. And then I had pulled these to fussy cut because I don't have any embellishments with this collection. I only had the paper pad. And I since I'm not going to my travel collection to grab embellishments from, because I have a lot of loose travel collection, I thought I'm going to try to use the papers that are not travel themed and use those for my embellishments. Great fussy cut options here. However, if I want to stay within like the red or the orange cameras, they all have this aqua color to them. So I thought, well, I can bring in some of that aqua color too. That won't be a big deal. And then these, even though they are, what are they called? They're like location spots. What are they called? My brain's not going to work. Anyway, she wasn't far away. She was in a different town. So I think this is fine. I thought I'd fussy cut these as well and kind of pull the colors that I needed to. That also reminds me, I was going to also grab, see, I just can't help myself. I think there was a tan polka dot in here, and I want to have that in here for a nice neutral. And I'm wondering if I need to get, okay, I know it's in here. It's gonna be the last one. There it is. I like that color there, and it's a nice neutral. And then I'm also going to actually pull in, see guys, I can't help myself. I'm going to pull in this really pretty aqua paper too, because when I first put it together, I was not planning on getting any of this aqua. There's 2 different tones of aqua actually. But then when it's another really pretty paper, but that's, so the red or orange, I can't tell. I think it's red. Actually, I think it's both. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so my intent was I was going to try to stay in that red, orange, blue category. But then because I knew some of my embellishments were going to have the aqua in there, so I don't need 2 pieces of this paper. This was actually in my loose paper stash. And I don't know if I must have just got it for the paper pad. I don't need 2 of them, so I'm going to put this back in. Definitely don't need 2. Okay. But is this a full 12 by 12? Yeah, because I grabbed it from my full paper stash, so we're good. Okay, so I went ahead and pulled this just because it has some of that lighter aqua, if I want to pull more of that in. And then, oh, I know what I plan on doing. I was like, wait, what else was I going to do? Then I figured I would have some of this left, and I would use some of the black and white with this because, just because they're 8.5 by 11 layouts, so I'm not going to need the whole piece of paper. So I would share this piece. I can grab the second piece if I need to, but I can share this piece. I also want to use this black and white fabric washi as well, and as many kits as I can, but this one especially. And then I'll be able to pull in some of the orangey elements if I choose to do so with the cameras and the geotags, that is what they're called. As well as like this one. This is really perfect. It has some orange in there. So I'm going to use those elements to bring in those colors. Okay, so that is the papers. And then I went, these are both actually music themed. This is Band Teacher. This is a music clinic. So again, it makes sense for me to use my theme stash with my themed photos because they are going to be limited for the most part. And then I pulled some music things. I pulled this little sticker sheet here I would like to get used up. And that's why I wanted to bring this tan paper in, because I remembered that I had this random music note here that was more of that tan color. So I can incorporate that a little bit easier. And then just some die cuts from Hobby Lobby. Some washi, music theme washi. Even though it wasn't on my list, I'm going to try to use it. And then I grabbed from my side stash some bits and pieces in the different colors, the navies, the blacks, the oranges, the aqua. This is more reddish, but we'll see if I can make it work. I don't know if I'll be able to or not. That's really reddish, actually. And it doesn't match that red. It's like an orangey red. I don't know. We'll see. I'll leave it and not. I'll just put it back if it doesn't work. So I have those pieces, and then I have, so I put them in here as I do this. Some more pieces from my side stash, because that was my challenge. It says, let's see, grateful for you, or thankful for you. So that could work with the picture of my daughters, or even Mrs. Dart, honestly. And then story. And then I went to my color bins, which I think I'll also consider my side stash because I'm just starting to organize them as I get through my bins of die cuts. But I did pull, I don't think I'm going to pull bling and enamel dots for every page. I can just grab them from my stash at the end of the layout. But these were a really, really deep red that I found that will work great with that. So I went ahead and pulled them because I'm like, oh, these are a perfect red. I had these in my black, or my neutral, or no, my black and white. I have neutrals together and I have black and white. No, I think I have black and white and like browns and stuff together. So all my neutrals. I grabbed some journaling cards. These old, like really hard plasticky clips I haven't used. And this journaling card here. And I did that because in the sketch, you have like some journaling cards, like the title on the top, journaling card below. They could be good bases for embellishment clusters. But they were black and white, and got some more of that black and white into the kit. And then when I was looking at my orange color bin, I came across this, which I don't know if it even works. I think it's Studio Calico. And this orange actually really matches my daughter's shorts a lot better than the dark orange in the collection. So then I started thinking, oh, and even the Midland orange in this picture anyway is a little bit lighter. It's not super dark. And so, I mean, this orange isn't super dark, but it's fine. So I thought, well, should I just try and maybe not use the orange elements in this collection and just pull in this lighter color orange because it matches better. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'll just try that. And so I pulled in some of these tickets from 49 Market, as well as some navy blue ones. So we'll see what direction I go. If I decide to go more this orangey route, I might have to go to my die cuts and see if I can find some more things in that color. I don't have a lot of orange anything, honestly. And so we'll see what happens. But this orange definitely matches the orange in the photo a lot better than the orange in the collection. Okay. So I'm going to get a separate envelope for my photos. Or for my photos, sorry. Okay, so there we go. That is that kit. Oh yeah, so this is going to be just as long, but it'll be, I hope I can get you shown all the kits instead of just like 5 of them, so, but it might be a long video. I like kind of, I guess, to explain my process, because I think that's the whole point of trying something new, is trying to go through what works and what doesn't, and everyone's going to be a little bit different. Okay. So this one has no 12 by 12 paper because I'm just probably going to use white cardstock. I'm not putting white cardstock into my kits because that's most likely going to be the base of most every page. But this was, let's see. Okay, so I picked 2016, but the collection was Echo Park Summer Party, and I had 0 photos in 2016 that matched the collection, and the collection happens to be a 6x6 paper pad. Don't have any 12 by 12, don't have any embellishments that match this. I just didn't have anything that worked. Even with the florals, like the non-summer, I just could not find anything. Like, this floral is gorgeous, and I want to use it so badly. But I couldn't find anything that went with these colors, which is crazy, but I couldn't. And I really wanted to do a summer themed layout. So I had recently, when I was going through my parents' or my mom's albums, looking for photos of my dad for the Rustic Legend scrapbooking that I did, I came across this photo of me and Keaton at a water park. And I think I'd scrapbooked this it was one of those where it was part of like a whole bunch of photos on one page that I made a long time ago. It's probably falling apart. I need to go dig that out. But I really love this photo. I don't get in photos very often. I only pretty much got into photos if my mom was with me, because she would take pictures of me and my kids together, or I'd have to ask someone to take a picture. So I just love that this is a picture of me and her just spending a day at the pool or at the water park and hanging out with my mom. And so I'm like, I'm going to scrapbook that on its own and give it its own special layout. And so the sketches, page maps 2024, and here it's just like one photo, which mine is the right orientation, and 2 small photos here, but I just grabbed some like Project Life type of cards to use for this little cluster of cards there and photos, and then a little cluster up there. There's a couple pattern papers and a line there. So with that said, and then my stash was stamps. Or no, my tool was stamps. So I grabbed a summer stamp. And my stash item was themed containers. But again, I have 2 bagfuls of summer embellishments. Those are going to be my themed containers. Like, when I say themed containers, I don't think I'm sorry, I forget what I've like shown you guys, because I've done this, a few times. I have these. So these were where I had my photos, but I moved my photos into a 3-tier cart, and now I'm using these for my themed embellishments. And so when I say themed containers, this is what I mean. I have 2 of these full: flowers, hearts, rainbows, birds, butterflies, sky themed, music themed, time themed, ampersands. All the bazillion ampersands are in every die cut pack. Photo corners, banners, all that kind of stuff is in here. So when I say themed containers, I forgot I didn't explain that. This is what I mean. But, and yes, like birds and butterflies could definitely be a themed container, and so could sky. Actually, you know what? You know what? I'm actually going to pull these. Because these are the right colors. I'll pull those and put those in. Okay. Okay, so technically I follow the rules. Okay. But, you know, as you guys have seen, if you've watched my stash share videos, I have loads and loads and loads of loose pieces that are organized not in these containers, but with their holiday or season or theme. And so those I'm going to consider to be also my themed containers. So stamp, paper pad. I have photo. So I pulled this washi because in the sketch you have this little like line across. It's like stitching, but I'm just going to probably just use a washi or maybe a really thin strip of paper. We'll decide that then. I'll pull in probably a piece of white cardstock. And then I pulled in just a few embellishments. I gotten these, again, because I knew what photo I was going to use, I could really hone in on which embellishments I wanted to use. And so I really like this color scheme here with those as well as these. You have that orange and like that pinkish tone there. So I thought those would work well. These old Studio Calico canvas stickers that I think you can color, like you can spray mist them. I've always just pretty much used them as white, and I probably will do so as well. And then just a bunch of some random bits and pieces, some items from my containers, but then these are just from my summer stash. I really wanted to pull in the orange. Let's see, I grabbed some puffy stickers. Since these are 8.5 by 11 layouts, and I think I'm going to stick to that. Puffy stickers are great because they're a little bit smaller, embellishment wise. I do have these glittery enamel dots that had like, I thought this pink and this orange would work great. And then some Simple Stories, clear stickers, and some puffy stickers, just, you know, that will have, there'll be bits and pieces that fit color-wise that are in there. And then I kind of thought I would do, so on the side where the photos are, I thought I would do tags instead, and those really matched nicely. And then for where the journaling card is, since I can journal on these, it's going to be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. That brings in some of the other colors that will be in this washi, because this washi is multicolored. So I wanted to, you know, pull in some of the blues and greens, you know, as well. And I don't know for sure what paper I'll use yet, but I'll probably use a multicolored pattern paper. And so I just pulled some embellishments that kind of match that. Now this one, I'm not for sure. These two here, I'm not for sure because it pulls in this navy, and I'll have to make that decision. There is some navy in here though. So we'll see. So just some random summery pool themed embellishments. Oh, I don't know where that came from. That's right. Things stick together. Some little sunscreens. And there we go. And I know some of these belong with other collections because they're just like my Shimelle folder. They are all loose in one random folder. And so if I can use just as more the random stash and versus the stuff that really matches the other collections really nicely, I'll try to do that so that I can get those back in with their collections that they were made to be with. Okay. Fun stuff. It's fun to play with product, isn't it? I've gone through it. I've somewhat organized it. I think this would be another step in getting it organized even a little bit more. And it's just fun to play with. Okay, this one was tricky. This one was... Okay, so this one is an Allison Davis sketch. I'm not going to show it. It's a 2-page, 5-photo sketch because that's what I drew. And but I drew the year 2001, in which I really don't have like 5 photos to scrapbook that are all from the same thing in 2001, unless it would be like Christmas or something like that. At least I didn't have in my container. So I decided I'm going to just do 1 page, which is totally fine. Photo from 2001. Stash is 12 by 12 loose paper, which actually worked out perfectly. I'll explain why in a second. Embossing folder for the tool, and Cartabella So Noted. So it worked out perfect that I drew 12 by 12 loose paper, which I just have like a big old pile of just loose paper that I don't have with any collections, because they don't either belong to a collection, they're from a paper pad, or they may belong to a collection and they're just in the wrong place. So Cartabella So Noted. When I got into my Cartabella folder, I came to find that I had 0 paper with this collection. I just had the sticker sheets, in which I've already torn apart when I was making the kit. So I had 2 12 by 12 sticker sheets. That's all I had. So I was like, well, it worked out well that I have to go pick out paper anyway. So I can find paper that matches this collection. However, since I knew what photos I was working with, because again, back before kids, I don't have a lot of photos that have not been scrapbooked. I came up with looking at the colors. Did I look at colors first, or did I look at, yeah, because I looked at the collection first. I knew I wouldn't have any 2001 pictures that would really mesh with the vintage feminine vibe of this. And so I was like, well, do I go then to like my mom's pictures or my grandma's, like where should I go look at other places? But then I don't have them organized by year. So that's not very reasonable, especially if I'm kind of wanting to do this in a hurry. And so what I did was, let me find these stickers that I cut out. So this is kind of a good tip, is sometimes if you're putting a kit together or you're trying to match things together, sometimes isolating like specific things that you want to use and getting it away from the other stuff can help you create your kit better. Meaning I was really struggling until I finally just cut these 2 out, because I'm like, these are the 2 I want to use with my photos. And they're kind of vintagey, but not super vintagey. Like they can be made less vintagey depending on how I use them. But isolating them from these stickers and putting them next to my photos, and then pulling the papers in and going that route helped me immensely. So yes, it creates a mess of your sticker sheets, but man, it helped. So I will keep these in the kit because there's a lot of little bits and little bits and things I'll be able to incorporate into the final page. But these are the 2 main stickers I really wanted to use from this collection, since that was my, what I drew. And so, okay. And so I chose those, I must have chosen my photos first, because I had these 2 photos that I thought since they were 4 by 6, I could do a 1-page spread and have them go, take up the span of the page, but just do one side of the sketch. And so I wouldn't have to really cut them down. I could just put them down and then so the sketch has, like actually banners coming from the top and bottom, and then a bunch of flowers. So I'm not for sure what I'm going to end up doing, but my idea is, maybe to use pattern paper layers versus the banners. We'll see what happens. So anyway, because I had these 2 photos, we were at a graduation party. I was wearing this yellow plaid dress. I had like stripes of red, and that's the main color that pops out at you. And I was holding the baby of one of my other cousins that was there at the party, and so I found adorable and cute would be great for those photos, because everything else on here was really, really, really vintagey, and kind of reading themed, and just not themed towards any photos that I had in that envelope, especially these, except for these 2 here. The Simply Sweet might work too, but it kind of pulls in a darker teal and black, and I didn't want to do that. So I started looking for papers. And it took me a while because it's a big old pile. And what I ended up with And this is where I just had to go off camera and just really like, actually I had to go to bed last night. And then this morning I was a little bit more refreshed and could focus. This was a paper that I landed on because my issue was I wanted to kind of match the yellow of my dress, kind of get that color in there, but I needed to work with these colors as well so I could use these stickers that say cute and adorable, and this kind of brighter red and brighter aqua color that just helped kind of make the layout more cutesy versus vintage. And I found this old K & Company paper that I'm like, you know what? That's actually pretty perfect. I love that it has pink in there because I'm holding a little girl, and I don't love the brown, but I don't hate it. I did pull also this piece of paper here because I figured I'm going to have a scrap left of this, and these really work nicely together. So I can just maybe put these together in my stash. Or if I end up going a little bit more vintagey, which I don't think I'm going to, I could use this brown on the layout, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to set this aside for now because it's not in my plan. My plan is to cut my paper so that I'm seeing as little of the brown as possible, but I can see the pink and the yellow and the red. The red is really what I was aiming for because I wanted to get this red in there. And I think that that is going to be super cute. Okay, so then this paper was also in my loose paper stash. I thought that would be a nice background because this is going to just be a strip. And that's how, when you're looking at pattern papers, you have to think about how you're using it on the layout. Like, I don't tend to use pattern paper as a full background, so I know I'm using this in bits and pieces. That's where this sketch comes in. So I think what I'm probably going to end up doing is I went ahead and kept looking and found some pattern papers that I thought would work with this piece of paper. And guys, these are all old. I think this is probably, ooh, I don't need a wood grain though. I think this is an old, my mind's eye, probably. So let's move these. I'll show you. And I initially passed over this because I was like, I don't know. But I'm like, okay, if I'm going to go with this paper, it has the pink in there. Let's get some pink in there. And then I could get some yellow in. Probably keep it a little bit of a distance from the photos because my yellow is a little more of a greenish yellow, but it's not totally obvious. I think it looks okay if I do just a little bit, but it does really match this yellow here. So, and then I thought I could get some kind of something pretty in there and do that. Now this paper adds in a whole other host of teal color. So this is the one I'm going to have to like really kind of hem and haw about and think about. But I thought there is like this reddish color in there. It's kind of probably a darker pink, but it kind of looks red. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. That's going to be kind of they're going to be small layers above and below the photo. Okay. So then I just went through my die cut stash and pulled some other random things just to try to get some more of these colors here. I have this sticker that says celebrating you. We're not celebrating her per se. We're at a graduation party, but I thought I could put a sticker over that. So it just says celebrating. We'll see, but I liked that it had the pink and the yellow in there. And then just some random pieces. I found this flare, which sadly is rusting on the inside. But I figure, hey, it gives that vintage vibe since there's a brown in here. You know, go with it, right? But it says you and me. It has red and aqua, and I thought that was perfect. So I'm going to try to use that. If I can't, that's fine. And then I pulled in this craft camera because this craft in this sticker here, I could get some more craft somewhere. I might pull in one more craft item if I need to. So then I looked at the sketch and there was just flowers all on the top and bottom. And I was like, okay, should I just pull some flowers and try to use them? Not force it, but try. Oh, I did grab some more craft. Sorry. Some more pieces here. Okay. And one random little camera. Okay. Oh, that's a sticker that I'm not going to use. Okay. So I went and just went to my stash and grabbed some flowers or some paper flowers that I still happen to have on hand. As well as one, I think, old K & Company sticker that actually the colors are perfect. So even if I just use this one, I'll be happy. So I'm not for sure if I'm going to do the whole flower thing, but I just grabbed them because I thought I just might as well try. I thought I could use these 2 browns if I wanted to pull in brown. Again, I'm not for sure about the brown. I have these 2, which again have a different feel. They're a little bit more fancy schmancy, but the pinks are perfect. So these are just like, I'm going to throw them in there. I'll go with whatever I feel like going with at the time that I'm scrapbooking. I also went ahead and grabbed these butterflies. They were in my summer stash, but I really liked the yellows. And see, that's a little bit more of a minty green, but I think would work. I like this multicolored one. Could bring in some other, you know, some of the different colors together. I don't know if these are going to work. Probably won't use them, but I'm going to throw them in there just in case. I decide to do maybe some, I just don't know that I'm going to use them. Maybe, I don't know if I should. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. So, and then for my tool, I had drawn a embossing folder. And so since I have a plaid dress and we kind of have a plaid-ish paper, I had this embossing folder that I thought for if I backed my photos with a solid cardstock, I could emboss them with plaid and that would give it another layer of dimension. So we'll see there what happens. Okay. This was a hard one, you guys, because I was just like, I don't know what photos to go with. I don't know what papers to put with this collection that aren't super very specific to a theme and tone and color scheme, because it's very dainty and vintagey and it's gorgeous. I am shocked I don't have any papers. I don't know if I use them all or if they're probably all in my scrap bins, honestly. I could probably go to my scrap bins and find all the papers, but I still don't think I'd have photos that would work. So okay, so that kit was a tricky one, but I'm kind of excited to play with it because I think it'll be a fun challenge. Okay. And then those sticker sheets might go into my vintage cabinet. We'll see. So I'm sure there's probably papers in there that they would work perfect with. Okay. Guys, it's taking forever. I'm so sorry. Okay, this one. This one's a little bit bigger too, but I'm trying to remember a picture I picked for this one. Oh, I do know. Okay. Oh, because there's a couple different ways I could go with this photo, and I wasn't for sure. Okay, so I drew the collection, the collection was Die Cuts with a View, Hello Darling paper pad. Page Maps, February 2022, Bringing and Bling and Enamel Dots. Use another embossing folder, Alleluia. Guys, I never use my die cut machine and my embossing machine, so I have to use them. 2016 was the year, which I'm pretty sure that is not the year I ended up. Oh, no, I did. Wait. Yes, I did, because that's a photo I found. Okay, let me get my act together here. Yes, okay, so I did find a photo then that worked. So here's the sketch, lots of pattern paper in the background, very little on the actual layout itself. Okay, so the paper pad was, let me get this out of the way here. This guy here, super cute. And very springy. I really could not find, let's see, I'm trying to remember if I looked for other photos or if I just came across this one and thought it worked out really nicely. Oh my goodness. I lost it. I lost my sticky. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, so anyway, no, I think what happened was I went into my photo container and came across this picture, and I thought, hey, this collection has this bright green in it. Can I make this work? The pinks are definitely different. It's more of a reddish pink, orangey pink. because they have this pink on their hats. This is a New Year's Eve party or get together with her friends. And they definitely have, it's like a brighter pink there. They have gold and black, but you have gray, black, white, and this bright green as far as the colors. So I'm like, you know what? I can just pull specific papers from here and work with that and not have to use like all the different colors that are in this paper pad. I'll show you that, what that means here in a second here. Although I love the florals, I really want to play with those floral papers. They're gorgeous. But for this particular photo, that just isn't going to work. So I ended up going with I had this, there was this great text in there, which just brought in some black and white. Because they had the gold and black glasses on, I thought bringing in some gold foil would be nice. And these are all from the paper pad. And there was a lot of gold foil in the paper pad, but this had this lighter pink to it, which will work great with, depending on what direction I go. I have this bright green paper, which again works great with the photo. And then I brought in another tone of this light pink, some orange, and then some of the cut apart sheets. I thought this would be perfect here because they're wearing the glasses. That would be fun to use. And I could definitely do this today and, you know, use some of these. These aren't really fussy cuttable. I'm not for sure what they were thinking. Like, like some of them are, but like these words, are we just supposed to cut them out like in like a square? Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, so there's some really good elements on here to use. And did I show you this? Yeah, I showed you the sketch. The sketch is vertical. No, it's actually 2 horizontal pictures and 1 vertical. So what I'll do is just do the horizontal here and then just maybe embellish or do a project life card, you know, like a journaling card underneath there. Or I could just do some embellishment underneath that takes up the space of this photo and journaling space there. We'll see. Okay, so then I decided that because of their brighter pink sorry if I have glare, you guys, this photo has gone through some stuff. I found out my daughter's backpack. I never knew it existed until I think this last year. So this is from 2016, you guys. So that's how long, like, that backpack probably got thrown into a closet and so we were kind of digging through everything and getting rid of stuff. And I found this photo. So it's super cute. I love it so much. But really, if you know, that paper pad, the florals, the typewriters, the vintage kind of vibes of it, the bikes, you know, that stuff doesn't really mesh with that photo. But I think these kind of basic papers, I can add in some fun stuff to make it really festive and fun and feel like New Year's Eve. So the only New Year's Eve specific product I have is a sticker sheet here. And so I thought that what I could do is, and that's why I brought in these pinks and oranges, because if I use a sticker sheet, there's no blue or this bright pink in the papers, but I can use that with my embellishing. So you kind of use these as some of the basic papers and then just embellish with the fun colors and add in other layering pieces. So I kind of started here with the paper, but then really went here when combined with these as well with pulling my embellishments. And so I did pull these gold thickers that have these flecks of color in them. I thought those would be so stinking cute. I did pull this paper pad kind of last minute because I had just actually worked with some 6x6 paper pads for a class, but I really like this Love, and I love that it has that gold foil. We'll see if I don't know if I can even really get that in. I don't know if I'll have room. Probably not. So I decided I'd put it there to remember that I had the gold foil Love in there. And then I also did pull some black glittery thickers. So when better to use black glittery thickers than New Year's Eve photos where they have black glittery glasses and hats and stuff. So since I was going with kind of this color scheme, I went ahead and pulled from that, from the, My Side Stash of 49 and Market Why can I never remember the name of that stupid collection? It's not a stupid collection, it's a beautiful collection, but I can never remember the name. Kaleidoscope. Because it has the bright pinks, bright greens, bright aquas, and some black and white. So I'm like, ta-da! So I didn't pull the full laser cuts, but I did the 2 smaller laser cuts because there's a lot of really fun like phrases and like layering pieces in there that would work. This is a cut apart sheet, so I thought if I'm bringing in some of this blue, can you guys see everything? Let me scooch everything over here. If I'm bringing in some of this blue, there's also some orange in here, this bright pink. Like these match these colors pretty perfectly. And so then I pulled just a bunch of the die cuts, which is why that bin that I showed you was pretty low because I put a lot of them in here. I thought these will be perfect. I just feel like they feel like very festive flowers, that those might be really good. There's also, I think, a little circle element that says best friends. I'm like, that's perfect. So there's a lot of phrases in here that are perfect for this type of photo. I did pull in these little cute little bows I got these from my little prom stash. Some frames. I'm not going to dig all these out. And then I pulled like a swirly embossing folder. And then these were some pieces that I had taken off a page that I had scrapbooked because they felt they were too bright for the page. And so they're pink, yellow, orange, and green. So perfect colors. I'm like, I want to get them used up because they have adhesive on them. They're a little bit beat up. So I want to like get them used in a way that I can kind of hide their imperfections, but like get them used so that I can still feel like I don't want to throw them away. They're not ruined. And then I just had these were in my summer stash, but I'm like, these colors are really perfect. We have the yellow and the blue and the pink, even the orange and the green. So I'm like, I'm between the two, this collection and the sticker sheet. Okay, that pattern is really throwing me off there because you're seeing that like hexagon collection, like the orangey tones. There we go. So between like the two, so I thought even if I did like a letter for each of their names, you know, like somehow did something like that, I could do that. So that is that kit. Sorry guys, I talk way too much. I did also add in I'd gotten this loose bling. I think it belongs to Bo Bunny Brighton, but I just put it in my side stash. I just have so much bling that has adhesive on it that I don't tend to use this. So I'm going to try to use up some of this loose bling with this kit to try to get it used. Okay. Okay. This one, oh, this is gonna be a long video, guys, sorry. Okay, this one was a Vicki Boutin. I drew Bold and Bright. And, where are the details? Oh, there we go. So I drew Bold and Bright, a stencil for the tulle, which is perfect because Vicki Boutin has a lot of stencils. I'm sorry, my camera keeps jumping around. Washi for the stash, which I also have a lot of Vicki Boutin washi. That was not a problem. Page about was November 2022, and 2023 was the picture. So I just grabbed the collection first, looked at the colors, and then went to my phone and my scrapbooks and found a photo. Here's the sketch. It's one photo. Of course, I end up going with a vertical photo, which is fine. I can just overlap them here. Pattern paper here, pattern paper over here, some embellishment. So a pretty simple sketch. And so I pulled the collection, and I really didn't have, honestly, that much of this collection. I think I have probably more embellishments than I do paper. I'm pretty sure I found all the paper, although I didn't go through my scraps, but I don't think I need to. I do have this cut apart sheet, and then this is it for the paper. So I just pulled them all because I don't know for sure, you know, exactly what I'll end up using. The ones on the top here, though, are the ones I foresee myself using with my photo. So the photo I found was this one here. I love that Vicki Boutin brings in royal blue into her collections because, again, our school colors have royal blue, and it makes it really easy. And so in this orange of her dress, I thought just meshed great with this beautiful floral pattern paper. I do have the 6x8 pad. Again, I just pulled it because why not? I might as well have it at the ready if I need to, you know, mat a photo with it or something, or get in just a little bit of a layer of a different color. I did pull in, I have the Bold and Bright, haven't opened these yet, die cuts, and then I went ahead and pulled this in. I don't think this is Bold and Bright. This is, oh, maybe it is. This is 2023. This may be like the regular ephemera collection, but I just loved it had words, like good title options on there. So I don't know. This maybe is it. So I have a lot of die cut pieces in here. I'm not going to need this many, but I didn't want to open them and go through them. It's just easier to stick the whole pack in there. I have these clips. Too bad I didn't pick clips for my stash, but that's okay. I pulled just a couple washies. I think I might go back and pull a black and white one. Or I could maybe try to use this. But that's really thick. I think I'm going to really quickly grab a black and white washi. But I got this pink and orange and this royal blue one. And then I ended up pulling some different stencils. I pulled this from my regular stash of stencils. It's just text. But then when I found my Bold and Bright pieces, I found these stencils, which I think all of them will work. I love that there's flowers because she's holding flowers, these circles because my daughter's holding round pom-poms, and the hearts because they're friends. And so I thought that that was a really, like, I could really use all of those and they all match the theme of the photo. I'm going to really quickly grab my Vicki washi drawer. And this is not all of her washi. This is just what I have in a drawer. I like to get a black and white one, I think. Not that I need it, but I feel like there should be one in here somewhere. If not, I have bazillion. Oh, here we go. Yeah, okay, I like this one. Currently, daily observation. I don't know if I like the daily observation part of that. And more, I don't know. I guess I like the text on it. I think that's fun. Let me see if there's any others in here. And I know I probably have her washi like in a bazillion different places. I'm wondering if I should just grab one from my stash. I have washis like stashed everywhere. I have a black and white camera. That's kind of thick though for 8.5 by 11 page if I go that route. Let me just grab this fun black and white one. Okay, we'll do that. Okay. And that may be Vicki Boutin. I don't know. It's very possible. Okay. What's wrong way? So that is that kit. That should be a pretty easy one to work with. Oh, I did grab these random bits from, I think these were from Color Rush. But I thought that the colors were great, and so I just saw those and grabbed them. Okay. Ta-da. Oh, what was that from? Oh, that's so noted. Okay. Forgot to put my little sticky note back in the... Okay, almost there, you guys. Almost there. Okay, this kit is really tiny. So this is an old collection. Okay, so I drew another page maps, which is what I have most of in that bag. March 2026. Photos from 2009. theme containers, a punch, which I'll just pull when I scrapbook. And I wrote down mixed border punches. I'll show you that why. And then Fancy Pants Happy Together was a collection that I drew. And so here's the sketch, super cute, like lots of different little photos, and it's like a grid. And then they have each section, like the edging punched in different shapes. So I'm like, this is perfect because I picked punch from my tool. So I'll just do the same thing. I'll just punch the edges of each of the little pattern papers in their different, either different shapes, or I'll pick one. We'll see what I end up doing. Okay, guys, this was tricky. This collection is very vintage. But it was made in, I think, 2010. Yes. So for 2009 pictures, I actually went to look at Mallory's album when I found the pictures I was looking at, and I hadn't scrapbooked these photos yet, but all of her layouts in that album are like brown and pink, brown and orange, brown and pink and orange, brown and teal. So this is going to mesh perfectly with that album. So it ended up being great that I picked older photos when I drew that. So the photos I ended up finding, I actually had 6 total photos that I found of this event, but I didn't need to scrapbook all of them because it's pretty obvious, like from these photos, that she's dancing in front of the TV and she's dancing to the Wiggles. So the tricky part was the Wiggles all wear different colors of shirts. So red, yellow, blue, green, whatever. So the ones where you could see the Wiggle on the TV that was wearing the bright red and the bright yellow, like I'm like, those are going to be so distracting from this color scheme. So I just picked the ones where the Wiggle had the blues and the greens. She is wearing these really cute brown and light pink shorts and a white tank top. So really her outfit meshes perfectly with this collection. So I just pulled everything that I had with it, which was not very much. It's really cute. It just is very old and looks like the style was back then. There are some nice, just neutral. I'll probably maybe use this as a background. We'll see what I end up doing there. But I do really like this paper. So, but 8.5 by 11, I'll have a little bit of it left over. But I really will probably need like a cream paper to make this work because it's a very cream-based collection. I just had these stickers. And I probably have some die cuts somewhere. Again, I'm not going to dig and look for them. Like, I'll be fine. I did pull from my stash. I had this, I had this really fun Jenny Bolin star that you can use to journal on. I do actually also have, I just found, this is brown. I think this is also Jenny Bolin. I could use for layering, or it has the fun edges that you could peek out from the side. I mean, we'll see. I'll just put them in here. They're brown. I don't know when else I'm going to use all my brown stuff that I still have in my stash. And I just pulled some hearts from my little themed container. I just went to my star container. I had actually die cut a bunch of these blue ones for a class I did a couple years ago, and they were extras. And then I have some wood veneers in there. There's like a couple green ones in there. So I just picked some stars because I thought, the Wiggles were stars and she's dancing, and that's just like a fun theme to go with. And there are a couple stars on the sticker sheet. I can play off of that as well. So that is that kit. That is more like an actual page kit. It's a lot smaller. So we'll just say I do the extra large page kits. That's the way Nicole does it. Okay, this one was also fun. So what I ended up picking for this one was my Disney themed folder. Now I gotta find my, I picked Disney. I picked 2002, I believe. If I can find my paper here. Ta-da! Oh, I got a big old mess in here. Okay. Yes, here it is. Okay. So I picked 2002. However, we went to Disney in 2001. Actually, we went to Disney. I've been to Disney multiple times. But close to that time frame, I was trying to not cheat too much. We had gone in 2001. I just had a handful of photos because, again, it was pre-digital. And went to my mom's albums, looked at what pictures she had in there. And I did take a picture of and print one off that I think I'd already scrapbooked in a mini album. But I would like to have these in actual scrapbook pages. So I'm happy to to do these photos, and some of them I haven't scrapbooked before. Okay, page maps, January 2023, 2 horizontal photos and some patterns, some scallops at the top. Can you guys see? Probably not because my hand's in the way. Kind of a circular element here, embellishment here, these scallops here, a line of pattern paper there, and then like a chunk of pattern paper and journaling card there. So not a ton, but you know me, I always zhuzh it up a little bit. Themed containers, which again, I said my Disney folders are my themed containers for this one. A stamp, and I chose picked Disney. Okay, so there were a couple of different options when I looked at the photos from that trip, and they're both fun, and I might do them both, so we'll see. So I had these 2 photos here of me and my cousins and then all of our parents, so the parents that matched the cousins. So can you guys see okay? Okay, sorry. So those are 2 horizontal pictures that would work, and that would be a cool story to include those together. Then I have these photos here of my parents with 2 different characters. And they're definitely, even though Disney's Disney, these have a more yellow orangey vibe. These have a lot more red and teals and kind of different color tones. So I kind of just picked different papers that would work with each. Now, since the sketch just really had chunks of pattern paper, I just went to my Disney scraps because I have a lot of them. I mean, I've done, what, 7 12 by 12 albums of Disney trips, plus some random. So I have a lot of scraps. Okay, so we're going to go with, okay, so I went with a couple of different tones. So I went with like these here for these photos, thinking I wanted to really get the red and that aqua in there. I could fussy cut the cameras, but then I thought these papers aren't super wide. This one might work for like the main piece. I wanted to get this red in there because I know this is a lot of stripes, this is a lot of pattern, but I'll make it work. I thought this could be a fun paper to do just a little strip along the top, and then I could punch out these circles and create the scallops from the circles. And then I just added in some journaling cards that matched because there was a journaling card underneath the photo block. And also there's a circular element to the right that I could either just do another journaling card, or if I can find an embellishment that is circular, I'm not going to be too picky about that. So that is for those. And then for these set of pictures, if I decide to do these, I went with more yellowy tones. This really fun plaid and kind of the vintagey. So I thought I could punch circles in here, use these for the scallops, use this for that little strip, or no, use this for, yeah, the little strip, and then this for the base. And then I added in some drilling cards and layering pieces that kind of matched that plaid paper in there. So that's the route I went there. And then for stamp, I have this Echo Park stamp here. I have more somewhere. I don't know where they're at. I'm sure they're in a folder I just didn't look at. But lots of Disney themed stamps there. I did went through my stickers and embellishments, and I didn't grab a whole lot, just a few things. I wanted to get some flat stickers in there. I got some wood veneer pieces that I would need to get used up. And then I had some stickers that would be good for titles for probably really either page. I think that those would work. And then I did just grab, I have like bags and bags and bags of these types of embellishments. So I just grabbed one randomly. I can go in and grab a different one if I need to, but I don't know that I'll need much more embellishing stuff because it's not a super embellished layout. So that is my Disney kit. Very small Disney kit with no 12 by 12 paper. I'm just going to use probably white and then use those scraps up. I think I actually have that in my stash drawing bag, is to pull like paper from my scrap bins, which I need to get those used. Okay. This one, another page maps, and photo was from 2022, and the collection was Lily Bee Buttercup, which is a very color specific collection. So this was a really hard one as well. I love the layout. It's like this vertical kind of just pattern paper and photos and some embellishing along, a fun little tag in the bottom there. I'm sorry, I'm really bad about making sure you can see everything on the camera. So just fun pattern paper, some embellishing, circle element there, a tag down here. So I really struggled. I was looking and looking and looking for photos, and because again, this collection is super, super color specific and also has a bit of that vintage vibe to it, which makes sense being it's from, is there a year on here? 2012. However, I love this paper. And I don't know if I used it ever. It has these circles of like text in there, and there's a very faint grid in the background. I love this floral paper. I love this aqua. I love these colors. I love this chevron with the text inside. And then there's some really fun yellow tones. So I just was on the search for photos that would match this, because the photo was going to be a fairly newer photo with an older collection. So I came across this photo here from 2022, and again, it was the yellow and the aqua of her rain poncho there that caught my attention. I'm also wearing a striped shirt that has like yellow and aqua in it, and then we all have black and white in our outfits as well. So I thought, you know what, that I think will work. I think because you have these layers of patterns, I can really, the aqua can maybe be a really smaller bit, and I can focus on the yellow and the black and white and have the aqua there in a more limited way. So it's not fighting with the different blues we have in this photo. I just went to my tag container. So I just have, I have a few different containers of just like loose products. So I have tickets. I have, these are just newly started. So I'm creating these color bins. So as I go through all my random things, my little sticker bits and enamel dots and bling and all the die cuts, and like these are all my multicolor bling, all the random stuff, like all these die cuts that I keep talking about that I have like 3 tubs of I need to go through. As I get to it, I'm just organizing them in these bins. So like red, yellow, orange. I have one for neutrals. I have black and white. I have pink. I have red. Or wait, yellow and orange are together. No, I think red is with yellow and orange. Yeah. So those I'm looking at those. I have this container here, which is all tags. So many tags, like I will never run out of tags. Some of these go with the collections. I probably need to get them back with their collections, but a lot of them are from Hobby Lobby. Just got some plain white ones, just all the tags you could ever dream of. And then I have this container of frames, and so I'm going to try to pull these in as well as often as possible. These are in the bag that has like items from my stash. I'm pretty sure I put frames and tags in there. I'm going to double check that. I'm pretty sure I did. So these are on the list to be drawn, but I really need to just pull them in, try to pull them into as many kits as possible and get them used. Okay. That was a random little side note there. Sorry. But because I wanted to tell you, I went into my tag container and I found this really fun tag, and it'll be upside down. So it'll just show like these little bottom leaves, and they're yellow, and that was perfect. My stash to be used was clips, and then I picked punch. I'm going to use a scallop border because if you look on the sketch right there, there's a scallop there. So I will just grab my scallop punch and do that. And yeah, so I grabbed these clips here. I'm actually going to look when I was watching my video back and thinking, I'm not posting this. It's way too It's way too all over the place. It's so funny when you see things on camera, how it's like, oh, I totally should use those. I think it was these, because they're thinner. Or maybe it was these. Those don't really match quite as well. On camera, they look nice, but like that's okay. But yeah, these aren't quite the right tones. I am going to pull these out too, because they're a little bit daintier. These are kind of, they're pretty. I grabbed them because they're like that brighter yellow gold. I thought would match well. But these are a little bit daintier, and I think for an 8.5 by 11 page would be a little bit better. We'll see. Oh, I forgot about these clips. Hold on. I saw these Felicity Jane clips. But they aren't the right colors. No, they are not. Okay. I'll have to remember I have those though. So, yes. Okay. The pinks won't work, obviously, but I could make like the blue and the black and white work. It might be good to get some more black and white in there. Okay, and then I just have these. I have these in my side stash. Although in the video they looked really more of a green than the blue, but I think they'll be okay. Once you layer them in there. Or should I grab some black and white stickers? Don't have a lot of word stickers here. Now, some of these stickers will be perfect. I think I'll be able to use like this for that circular element. Today is a good day. The tulips in springtime. I mean, I could. It was spring, but it's really not the story of the photo. Although this umbrella would work. This flower would work. I can definitely use these. I don't know. I'm feeling these are too green. They're looking too green to me now. I'm going to maybe just find some black and white stickers or something to get some word stickers on here and a title. I'm not gonna worry about that now. I'll just maybe grab some thickers if I need to, a place to journal. I don't really have a place. I could journal on this, but it's more decorative. So I might need a journaling piece. Yeah, not the right colors. I'll probably have to go into, I might just dig through my die cuts and see if I have any die cuts from this collection, but I just need something, I'll need something to journal on. So maybe I might just pull in another white tag or something. I guess I didn't even show you those papers. I'll fan them out really quickly. They're just very all this color. There's gray, the teal, the yellow. And I found this scrap, so I'm gonna try to use this scrap first. So, yeah, very color specific, but it'll be fun a fun challenge. All right, guys, we've got 2 hours in us. I'm going to make up, that's it for ones I've done. I'm going to make up this last kit that I've drawn for. And then next time around, I will probably do the drawing and kit making on camera. And I'll maybe just do like 3 kits at a time so that I don't have like, you know. I did pick out the photos. This is also kind of tricky. So I drew another page maps. It was March 2025, but they didn't have any. I don't have any printed for March, so May is the one I went to. The year was 2000. Again, I don't have hardly any photos from that year except for our wedding, but this collection did not match our wedding. And I've scrapbooked most of them, I think. So I guess I could have went to our honeymoon pictures. Nope, that's okay. I think I'm good with what I got. So it's a really fun layout it has 3 photos, like a bigger one and 2 smaller ones, some just fun pattern papers in there. Again, another kind of very vertical, kind of down the middle type of design. And I need to bring in a punch, which would be easy. There's actually kind of a punched board or framer on this photo, so I might do that or grab a frame from my stash. And then die cut stash for embellishments. However, this collection has a lot of embellishments, so I may not make myself do that. Jen Hadfeld, Peaceful Heart. So this is a collection I have not used before. I got it out and it is gorgeous, but I have a lot of it. So I just need to figure out, I think I might just try to pull the papers, and then I'll probably put the, like, just the unopened embellishment packs in with the papers. So these are very muted tones. They're gorgeous. I apparently have 2 of the alphas. I have all the things, you guys. All of the things. This, I will not use on the page. I'm going to put this with my, where I keep my stuff for decorating albums. Those are really cute though, but I will not use those on a page. They're too bulky. So this was from Hobby Lobby. I added this in here, both of these, because I thought they matched. It actually matches perfectly because the photos that I ended up picking after looking at the colors and the theme was the pictures of me and Dan's first home together, a house that we rented. You guys, there's so much here. I think I got the whole collection plus 2 Hobby Lobby packs. This is crazy. And it worked perfectly because these were taken in 2000. But it also has this darker green in this collection, which the house was like this really dark, not really pretty green. But it matches, so it's great. So, you guys, oh my gosh, I have so much paper. Okay. But it ended up working out perfectly. So the photos, I just grabbed all of them that were all together. But I'll just probably pick the top 3. I'll definitely pick, like, look at that, you guys. It was a really nice little village and it was fine. So I'll probably do like one of the house. I'll probably do a couple of like the living room and dining room. I have this picture that actually has me in it. That shows kind of the living room. Some of these are pretty dark. That's like us moving in. There's some doubles. I'll probably do like this one with like our dining room where you can see kind of both of the main areas. I don't really need the bathroom picture in there. These are pretty dark. I'll keep these. You can see more of the living room in this one. Oh no, you can see pretty well there. Anyway, so just fun. But I love that the house is green because it just matches this collection perfectly. So these are the photos I'm going to go with. Okay, so now I got to figure out. I'm going to put these over here and the embellishments are just going to go into the kit. It's just, I'm not going to go through all that. Well, actually, I really like this phrase. So we'll do a cut apart. Although, let me look at the sketch. Where did the sketch go? So yeah, I can use cut aparts like in, okay. Well, and I layer things like crazy anyway. So I'm going to say, what color scheme do I want to go with? Let's see. This is really pretty. Okay, I love this house paper. I mean, that makes sense, right? I like this. And I love that green. This must, I don't know where this came from. That's weird. Okay. All right, paper pad. Let me move this out of the way. Okay. Okay, guys, this is crazy. Look at how different of a tone those greens are. This is the loose sheet, and this is the paper pad. Can you guys see that? Like how different those greens are? But this is same paper. That's crazy, isn't it? Okay. There is some like tones of brown in this as well, which again, some of these cut aparts will work great for. Kind of liking this butterfly paper has this brown, and it would bring in a different color. I actually kind of like the wood too. Okay, well, look at that. I'm just I don't think I want to get all the colors in there, like the blues and everything. I want to kind of stay maybe in the very neutrals, like the brown, green, black and white. Do I want that one? I do like that because you can see all the trees around the house. I don't need a ton. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that gold, but do I want the gold foil? I think I'll just do the regular one with these because they aren't the best pictures. I don't think I want to get in those oranges. I'll go ahead and pull this just because they're good layering elements. I gotta think about background. Ooh, and tags. Tags are always good. This might be pretty as a background. Let me keep looking. I don't know if I want to bring in the pinks and oranges. Okay, now we're back to the beginning. That is a question. Do I bring in... I don't think so. Okay, so I think, although this paper does do that then, and this butterfly paper brings in the pinks and the orange... Or do I just use this? That's very pinkish too, though. I don't know if I like that. I don't think I do. I think I'm going to stick, I'll just find maybe a white cardstock because there's a lot of white in the pictures. I'm wearing white. The house trim is white. And so I think this is what I'm going to stick with here. I don't know if I'll use a butterfly paper or not. I'm going to just take that out for now. I know it's here. What about the wood grain, though? I might do the wood grain. And, okay, there we go. That is my kit. I got some cut apart elements. I'm going to just kind of show you. Okay, so pictures. Okay, there's my kit. I'm going to put in all of the embellishments and things because I don't want to go through all of these and like pick and choose, but I'll stay within these color schemes. I'll use the home themed things. Now, if some of the home theme things are multicolored and I need to pull in some other colors, I'll do that. Like I have that freedom to do so. These alphas aren't going to work really with the colors I have going, but they'll work if I do bring in some other colors. I don't know if I will or not. Otherwise, I could just bring in some like wood grain alphas or some black ones. I have stickers. Okay, so I'll put them all together, even though I'm probably not going to, well, I'm going to put these with paper pad because I don't think I'm going to use those with the color scheme I have now. But the rest of this will go in this kit. And oh, I lost a photo. And I'll keep all the photos together so that I can decide, okay, I don't want to scrapbook any more of these. I'm going to put them away into my box that I am not scrapbooking because they are either duplicates or ones I don't want to scrapbook. And so that is 10 page kits. So the reason I wanted to have these on hand, not just to play with my product, which is a lot of fun, but because sometimes I'm just in the mood to come down and I don't want to get a whole collection out. I don't know what I want to work with. what I'm in the mood for. Do I want to do a class? Do I want to do whatever? These will be ready to go for me. I can just pull one page out. I have a sketch there ready to go, photos ready to go. I can just scrapbook. And that's why I wanted to make these. And if they don't work for me, then I won't keep doing it. But I think it's going to having the photos and the sketch ready to go with the page kit. So I think it'd be fun too to have some challenges of like, okay, use your leftovers from these page kits or mix these page kit leftovers together and see what you can do. And there's all kinds of fun things that you can do with these. But I really just want to get some of this product played with and these pages made, and I love the challenge of not getting to choose what I mean. I get to choose the photos, but not the year that I'm going to pick the photos out. So, and as well as the collection, it makes it really fun to have that challenge to pair those together in a way that works for me. So that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry this was so terribly long, but I'll come back and maybe I'll probably just do like 3 kits at a time where I draw the information and then put them together. So thank you guys so much for watching, and happy scrapping. Bye-bye.